We are live. Okay. All right, everybody, welcome. Of course, this is Docg Presents show. I haven't done one in a while, so I'm really glad to do this one for a friend, Frank Modica, for the International Film Festivals award. This person won this award, and she is a fantastic filmmaker. I believe she won it. Would you win it for her, Laurie?
I won for Best Narrative Short.
Best Narrative Short. Want to welcome Laurie Tieman to my show, Docg Presents, and the people all over the world are listening to you, hearing you. They have you on in their doctor's offices and different places everywhere. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
It's my pleasure. So, let's dive into this.
Okay.
Tell me about number one, how you created this award-winning film. What was the idea, the theory behind it, and all that? And then we'll get into the details.
Okay. Well, it really started out of a feeling. My kids were getting ready to leave. My last one was getting ready to leave, and I was about to be an empty nester. And as a mom and a woman, it's just a whirlwind time. And no one really prepares you for entering that phase of your life. And right when I was supposed to be completely empty nested, COVID hit. So my entire family came back home. And I spent a lot of time just kind of processing what was about to happen and what didn't happen and knowing it still was going to happen. And I spent a lot of time outside going on walks. And the thoughts and ideas of the film really just came to me as I was outside moving through the trails. And so I would record my story as I was walking and record random thoughts and ideas. And eventually it came together into my screenplay.
I mean, it was such an incredible movie.
Thank you.
And did you, when you started writing it, because I'm a songwriter and a movie script writer and commercial writer and all that stuff, when you wrote it, what was your idea behind it? Were you trying to get something across to people? Because it came across to us.
Thank you. I think initially it really just came from a very authentic place of just sorting out my own feelings. And so where I did want people to start to react to it and identify with it, it came out of a place of just me needing to kind of sort through things. And it really was like a catharsis for me. So in the end, after it was created, I was excited for other people to react to it because I realized like there's nothing really out there that talks to women and about these different stages of motherhood, especially the empty nesting one, and also touches on aging and how you sort of like enter this world of like, who am I? What am I doing? Where is my place in this world? Because I think a lot of women really do go through that moment.
I think all women go through that at all moments.
Yeah.
I've seen my daughters and my wife go through that. My wife go through that many times.
Yes.
Depending on what situation happened
The
and how
stage.
they dealt
Yeah.
with it, and like that. So tell me a little bit about the actresses in it and the actors in this. This was it didn't have a lot of people in it, but it was just enough to get the point across.
Well, wrote each character kind of with a piece of myself in mind. So even though each character portrays a different aspect of motherhood, or one character chose not to be a mother, or maybe she didn't, maybe she just couldn't be a mother. I feel like each one of their stories and their frustrations or difficulties are something that I have experienced having three daughters myself. So that's how the story developed. I wrote one of the roles for one of my friends who is an actress, for
Okay.
Marla, Marla Freeman. She plays the woman who did not have any kids. And I did write that role with her in mind. And the other two actresses, I put out a casting, and it was pretty amazing that once I saw their self-tapes and their interpretation of the character, how they just were exactly how I envisioned it in my mind. So they made it come to life.
Yeah, and I was going to say that each character had that portrayal perfectly, as I think that's what you would want it. We're funny, but kind of like, rude, but funny, rude, but funny, and then nice and funny,
Right.
and
Well, I think sometimes with women, it's like when women encounter each other, like automatically a lot of women have like some sort of defense, or their insecurities are triggered, or just in general, people in general, when you see someone doing something you don't really understand or relate to, you have a reaction to it. But at the end of the day, I think one of the messages that I wanted to show was like, we're all in this together. Like, you might be like this, or you might be like that, or you believe this, or you believe that. But at the end of the day, we all are having some sort of similar, relatable experience. And life is much better when you can support each other as opposed to go against each other.
As we were just talking about, there's so many people out there that have that you have, but they need actually support from the community of people that are doing the same thing you're doing. It's just like, hey, where are you? Let's get
Right.
together.
Right.
We got to
And
give shout
also,
outs to other people too. Go ahead.
no, well, also it's, sometimes, I mean, especially in motherhood, I feel like a lot of times we feel alone. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom. So, you're in this like world that, you may not realize like every other mom is feeling that way. If especially when you're home and you're in the thick of it, and it's a hard job to be home, and I think that the challenges that you face as a mother, if you don't discuss it with other people, it can be a harder path.
It is. And I just want to give shout outs to Lita and, of course, Fran Sarnera, who runs actually one of the film pages. I'm going to say that real quick so she knows. It's the film reels and funding for the movie acting/acting industry. And of course, we do the radio, TV, movies, and all media, which is a plug for us. But listen, they're both ready to do the same thing, help bring people together to make great movies, great music. And that's the other thing. You had great music in this a little short.
Thank
I think that
you.
makes a difference, right? Because it motivates the actors, the actresses, and the people in the movie or the films to get going and enjoy it.
Yeah, it creates a certain vibe, what you're trying to set out. So we do start out very lighthearted and fun and ba 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 kind of thing, and then then it gets a little more emotional at certain points. So yeah, that music is so important to help tell a story.
So tell me, did you even think you were going to win an award?
Oh no, I was totally shocked. I was thrilled and shocked.
So what was it like to win an award at the International Film Festival?
Truly, it was an honor. A very exciting honor.
Can you expound a little bit on that?
Well, the story of my film was probably like a lot of filmmakers, a bit rocky. It's a roller coaster ride. I lost a lot of sleep. At one point, there was someone who I regarded highly in the film world who told me to throw the film in the garbage. So after the first edit, we had a lot of audio issues. We had some coloring issues. It turns out everything was completely fixable, as you can see by the end result. But the person at the time told me there was nothing redeemable about the film at all. So it not sort of put me in a tizzy. It completely put me in a tizzy. And I just really didn't know what to do. I put all this work, effort, time, heart, soul, money, energy into this. And to be told that nothing about it has any value was completely devastating. But I didn't tell anyone for a while. I really just had to deal with it. But then I did eventually tell somebody what happened, somebody who knew I was making a film, and somebody who was a filmmaker himself. And he asked to see it, and I very hesitantly shared it. And I just said, I hope you're not wasting 18 minutes of your life watching this film. But he watched it and said, all the problems you have can be fixed. And in came my knights on white horses, all ready to help me. And they did a phenomenal job with the second edit. We went back for a finishing edit. Somebody else came in with sound and just completely fixed all of our sound issues. And it was really an incredible lesson and story for me to go from feeling like, oh, I guess I should just throw it away because it's not good, to seeing that really, if that criticism had been given in a constructive way, I wouldn't have had to go through that. But people did step in, and it was kind of a story of like, haters are my motivators, because other people heard what that person did to me and were really highly motivated to turn it around. And they did. So getting an award at the end was just like unbelievable to me, because prior to that, I was ready to throw it in the garbage before the second edit. So it was
Well,
really,
here's my thoughts on that. When you're a filmmaker and you see what's involved in the film, the editing, the movies, this, that, and getting the actors and trying to schedule, it is crazy. But
yeah,
at the same time, it's a labor of love, because you know that no matter what anybody tells you, and I'm so glad you didn't listen to that person. I'll be honest with you. You wouldn't have had a great film like this.
well, I
It
do
would,
think I do thank him for what he did to me, because
he motivated you.
maybe the rest of the story wouldn't have ended the same way had he not done that. So where I wish I took someone else's opinion with a little more of a grain of salt, especially that wasn't constructive criticism, it was just kind of meanness. If it wasn't for that, I don't know that my results would have been so great.
No, and again, we're motivated by two things. At a motivational coach, I say two things. You're either motivated by fear, or you're motivated to do what you're going to do anyway. And you did it, my dear.
Thank
You
you.
blew it out of the water is what you did.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Such an amazing accomplishment. So tell me about, now, you've never been to any other film festivals, is that correct?
Oh, I've been to some other film festivals, yes.
What
Yes.
made this film festival, the International Film Festival, so different than the others?
Oh, well, the thing that struck me, sorry, besides the award, the award number one. But what struck me about this film festival is how during the question and answer, all the judges came up, and it just felt like a family automatically, like such a warm, welcoming, and incredibly supportive group. And the other festivals, I don't think I ever met the judges or got like their personal feedback. So this was just really a very special experience to
Oh,
get, such amazing feedback from them, and to have them, hear my story and be so supportive. It was special. It was really memorable and special.
yeah, I got to agree with Cheryl. We loved you, and we
Oh,
and we love
thank
you.
you.
You now, then we'll love you all the time. But
Thank you.
what an
Love you
incredible
back.
what an incredible project, like I said, that you turned out. And it's just, listen, I'm glad, and I told Frank Modica this, that I am so glad to be part of something that is not just like everything else, because that is what I've been doing for 28 years. My radio station's the same way. It's not like anything else you ever heard, but it's so different, yet everybody loves it. And that's
Yeah.
what your movie's about.
Yeah.
Continuing on with what you said about all the things women go through. That's so important in people's lives, especially the people going through it.
Exactly. And for people to, see that and be able to identify it, and feel like you're not alone, and just be like, "Oh my God, that's exactly how I feel." There's something so validating about that, and comforting.
Yeah, and when you get people involved that you don't really know, and you get to know them, that is an extended family. That's like part of your family, because
Yeah.
now you may have somebody that can work on another movie with you, or you may, like, let's try this one and let's try that. Let's see what we can do here.
Yes. And also the other filmmakers in my block were fabulous, so warm. We had some nice conversations. It was, I was honored to be with such great company, and to be selected by such amazing judges, extra amazing judges.
Again, see what Cheryl says. I'm involved in other festivals. This one is unique, and that's the way we want it to be.
It is. It is
We want
totally
it to
unique.
be absolutely unique. So, what is your biggest takeaway from this movie that you did?
Well, as a filmmaker slash human being, um, you can take someone's word with a grain of salt. And, I took things very personally, and I let it sort of destroy me for a moment. And I wish I didn't torture myself like that. I wish I just said, okay, that's one person's opinion, move on. But I lost a lot of sleep over that situation. At the same time, at first I didn't want to tell anyone what he said, but then I found out when I did tell people, the amount of support I got was overwhelming. So I think when you're having a problem or you're in a dark place, it's really important to reach out to people around you, because everyone around me just really made a huge difference. And just I mean, they changed the film and they made me feel so much better about it. And I think there's something to be said for kind of fake it till you make it, because I literally woke up one day. I'm an actor. I was not a filmmaker. And I woke up one day basically like, I want to make this film. And I just found people who would make it with me, who were supportive and helpful while I was doing it. So I just think anything is really possible, and you just have to set your mind to it. And sometimes just closing your eyes and running forward is the thing to do. It's never going to really be the right time. It's never going to be the perfect time. You're never going to have the right amount of money. You know, it's not, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but you take what you have and you make the most of it.
It's an incredible feeling. Again, Frank, Frank said that. Shout out to Frank Modica too.
Oh, absolutely. He's been, even afterwards, he said to me, "You're part of the family now. If you need anything, let me know." And I've never had that from a film festival either, which was pretty amazing.
That's incredible, right?
Yeah,
That's incredible.
absolutely.
So, so tell me, do you have any new projects you're going to be working on? Is anything coming up with what you're going to be doing, say, in the future as we go into 2025?
Yes. Well, I started writing something and then I'd stopped because I was discouraged, but I picked it back up again and I'm in the middle of another screenplay. Um, it's also about issues for women and, things that we don't really talk about, but that a lot of us feel and experience. So I'm working on that one right now.
Laurie, hang on. We're having some issues. I don't know what's going on, but
There you are.
StreamYard has been having a lot of issues lately. I don't want anybody to leave yet till we're done. But this is, I mean, you're, like I said, you're an amazing lady. Uh,
Oh, thank you.
the stuff that you're doing and the way you're doing it. Um, we're getting a lot of comments. That sounds amazing, Laurie. Fran says you're going
Thanks,
to,
Fran.
yeah, is that yes means the world? And Fran is
Yes.
makes us stronger. Listen, all these comments are wonderful and great. I love them. It shows support again, not only support for you, but support for both of us for what we're doing and what we're trying to create in the community. But I got to say one thing. I got to tell you that the biggest thing that people don't understand is when you're an actor in a movie and you see something that maybe the producer don't, and you become a producer, you take what you learn and then you add it to what you decide to do. You can do it a different way, but you already have the prior knowledge of being an actor. So you know how you want your actors to be. They're the best producers in the world. Ask Ron Howard. He's, and Steven Spielberg. They were in the thing before. They were there doing something, key grip, whatever they were, but they did something like that. And, it makes them so special.
It gives you a different perspective.
It does.
Yeah,
It does.
definitely. Definitely.
So let me ask you this, Laurie. Other than your movie, what other movies as a filmmaker caught your eye at the film festival?
Honestly, all the films in my block. I'm not going to remember the names, but they were amazing. The one about in the house with the kids, that she worked for like over 10 years on, right? That movie, that feature, was it a feature? It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the one right before my film was terrific. It was so great. I wish I could remember the name. I'm sorry, but they were all fabulous.
Yeah, I think Frank did a great job of putting together all the movies. I never sat so long for all the movies, but I enjoyed every one
Yes,
of them.
they were great, and they were all just like very different stories and different vibes, which just kept it really interesting and moving. And yeah, super enjoyable. The festival is great.
Now, when you go out to the, he's told us it's what it is, out of state Gothic romance.
Oh yes, sorry. Yes, that was it.
We forget,
Unbelievable.
we forget because we saw so many movies that day.
I know, but
But
that was it was so compelling and it was just so beautifully filmed and the acting was terrific. It was great.
so, as a filmmaker, when you look at things, do you suppose that, say, something you look at an area and you go, "Oh, that would be good for my characters to play here or over there"? And do you get discouraged if somebody says you can't play there and you try to find another place, or do you pursue to get that spot because you really like it?
Do you mean like a location?
Location, yes,
Well, this film was shot on the trails near my house and at my house.
but
So
that's
that
awesome.
was pretty easy location wise. The only issue was outside. Everyone's like, "Oh, don't shoot outside, audio, audio." And that's exactly what happened. We had a lot of airplanes go by, and I never noticed how many airplanes fly over my neighborhood. Um, so that created a difficulty, but I was fortunate to be able to use the area right here. So I didn't have a problem with locations.
It couldn't tell any difference when you were on there that there was a problem.
Well, that's because I had some incredible help in the second edit.
I think you learned that if you trust certain people that know what they're doing, they can fix
Mhm.
any problem you have in filmmaking.
Yes, and I was, like I said, I was slow to share the problem. So, yes, Rob Riley,
Give them a
insane.
shout out. Give them a shout out. I mean,
He Rob Riley did the second edit, and he literally transformed this film. It was incredible what he did and his commitment and devotion. And Rob's little line is, if I work on something, I bleed on it. And I can tell you, he was so devoted, and he was also very motivated by the fact that someone told me to throw it away, and he was kind of like, no, 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 no. He saved it. And then my friend Larry Rosen fixed the audio issues that Rob wasn't able to do or didn't do. It just wasn't his thing. But between the two of them, and I didn't say anything to them. I didn't say anything to Larry in the first place because I was so embarrassed and I felt ashamed of my film. And Rob is who another friend connected me to, so I didn't know him before he took the film and started working on it. So, but yeah, it's community. It's unbelievable how they showed up and just were so committed to making it better.
I love hearing that because every one of us wants to be a savior at one point in somebody's career or life or kids or whatever. And if you can do it, you do it. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't, at least you tried, you know?
Exactly. Yes. But I realize now it's okay to lean on other people. It's
Yeah,
okay
please
to,
lean.
admit you have a problem. It's okay to admit you need help. And I'm glad that I did eventually. I was kind of pushed into a corner, so I did it. But I realize now I shouldn't have to be pushed into a corner to ask for help from people. It's okay. People want to help, and I'm so grateful for it.
I loved the fact that you were so easy to hear when you were up there talking about your movie and how friendly you were, very nice and open. I
Thank
mean,
you.
sometimes you get rude people. You're the kind of person that is, you know, probably one of the easiest producers to work for, I would say, even though you don't think so.
I didn't even know, to be very honest. I was the producer, but when we started out, I was sort of like, wait, what am I supposed to be doing as a producer? Because I wrote it, I was acting in it, and then I'm like, oh wait, I have to do that too. But it was I learned so much, and it was such a great experience. Like I definitely feel like I'm ready to do more.
Now, if you say if you shot it longer, you think we did a longer? Because I think you could. In my view, this could become a series on Netflix.
Yes, well, it was something I thought about, and then I sort of put that away in the middle of everything. But I do feel like this could be the beginning of a story, not the end of
Mhm.
a story. And the next thing I'm working on, I kind of feel like, oh, thank you, Cheryl. I kind of feel like the next story could really just be part of this story. So the more I'm writing it and working on this next script, I am sort of thinking about, wow, the lives these women have and their relationships with each other. There's so many directions I can go in. So it is on my mind. Like, I wonder if this could be a series or if it
Oh,
could be
without
a
a doubt.
feature.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, so that that
There-
is where that is where my thought is going about the future of this. I don't want the story to end. I loved those characters and I loved the growth that they experienced. And I think it's kind of a natural thing in their relationship that women might, be standoffish to each other, but then realize, oh, you know what, she's not so bad.
I think what we see now, and when I watch Netflix series and stuff like that, or what's on some of the streaming services, I said to myself years ago, I said, I don't know why a lot of these movie people, and I'm talking about, I understand there's a budget and there's this and there's that, and there's certain ties that you can't do certain things, but there's so many expansion things that you can do, if especially if it's not only a hit movie, but something that has a lot of spice to it, character spice to it. Meaning by there's so much more of that character you can get into. Uh,
Yes.
who are some of the characters again in the show, in the movie, and how do you think that we can get into some of them characters a little deeper?
Oh, I think we could definitely go in deeper. Well, the one character, there's a character who is the mother of a girl who's bullied, which was me at one point in time with one of my kids. And then there's the mother whose daughter is doing the bullying. And then there is the woman who doesn't have kids, and we're not quite sure why. Maybe she doesn't really want them, or maybe she's a little bitter because she couldn't have them. And then there's my character who is the really sad, depressed, disillusioned, empty nester who's just like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing with my life and I don't know where I fit into anything anymore at this age, and um, just feeling confused and depressed. So I think for all the characters, um, they could have growth continuing on this journey, but I also see that there's some things that could lead up to it. There could be a backstory that is, deeper than what we got into, because I do have backstories for them. Um,
Beautiful.
yeah, in developing their characters, they all have backstories. And, I think that's why the characters really were very clearly defined and they were very true to their personalities from beginning to end, because, they were full fledged people in my mind.
Well, in character writing, you have to actually visualize that person being a real person, so you can
Exactly.
write what they're doing and how they're going about what they're doing. So
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
that's really important. But I was like blown away by just the way the movie was concepted and how it was done. And again, I love the scenery. The scenery, I love parks and things like that. And that was a beautiful place again where you shot that.
Thank
The
you.
camera was
Yeah.
great. The lighting was great. The day it looked like it was a great day.
It was a great day, but the next day was going to be torrential rain. So we did a day and a half of filming in one day. So it was quite stressful. On the spot, we were cutting out scenes because we just ran out of time. And yeah, so everyone always has time as an issue and trying to get it all done before the sun went down. But the trails, the scenery it's the Randolph trails. Randolph, New Jersey has a very extensive trail system. And lucky for me where I live, there are a lot of places to walk on the trails. And that's what I do all the time. And especially, when I was writing this during COVID, I was on the trails constantly because there was nothing else to do. And there's nothing more soothing and relaxing than being out in nature. And it's just a beautiful location. So when it was time to film it, I knew exactly where I wanted to have us situated.
Yeah. And what did you think about the theater? Did you like the Smodcastle Theater up
Oh
there
my
in
God, I love the Smart Castle Theater. Yeah. There was so much character, so much history. Yeah, I loved it there. I've never been there before. So I was very excited to be there.
Well, that's good. We appreciate that. Well, so let me ask you this. So your background is not in movie making, right? Your background is what?
Well, I became an actor because of my kids. It's usually the reverse. But my kids always wanted to act. So all through their middle school and high school, they took acting classes and auditioning, the whole thing. And at some point, my daughter self-submitted us for a commercial and we booked the commercial as a family. So I was just sort of like, I have no idea what I'm doing and what I'm doing here, but it was fun. And then lucky for us, we booked another national commercial as a family. And after that commercial, I just thought, wow, I really want to do this too. Like, I think this is amazing. So I started taking acting classes at a studio near me. It's called the Guardia Acting Studio.
Okay.
And so I started my own pursuit of acting in film. But prior to that, I've just done other things. I have a promotional products company. I teach group fitness at the Y. I do a lot of community service things. So I've always had a lot of balls in the air, but this became my passion. And I also substitute teach, by the way, but that's new.
Wow. How many
um,
more hats do you have to wear?
a lot, but you know what? It's what keeps me going, and it
Yeah,
also,
I
I
know.
think it's really good for the storytelling too. I mean, just watching people and being in all these different sort of situations with people, you really learn a lot. Talking to people, seeing their interactions. But filmmaking, well, acting really became my passion. I just loved it, and I started developing a lot of goals. And then once I wanted to be a filmmaker, I dove into that, and I guess I reached a goal of making a film, but now all of a sudden I have so many more goals. So I've got to keep going.
No, you're right. And Cheryl Dobbins says diversity makes you motivate. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
true. It's true. Exposure to different people, different situations, being especially in school and being at the gym, working at the gym, it's just cross sections of people, which is fascinating.
Yeah, there's another whole movie thing right there. I mean,
Oh,
listen,
that's
life
true.
is a movie. You can just turn around and people at the supermarket and just do a movie on people buying food. I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I would do that, but there are people that would do
Well,
that.
it could be good. I mean, that could be one of the scene for my characters.
Oh, it's funny to see how characters interact with each other. Personal people that have personalities and really strong personalities to really bring that personality out. It's just an amazing thing. I think that's why a lot of the movies were successful, like Clerks,
Yeah,
and not to mention Kevin Smith, but a
of
lot of
course.
his movies are like that, and they're very, very comical and stuff like that. You know,
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
so in future projects, would you take on other type of things like more drama, more comedy, less comedy, more what would you do?
Well, I mean, comedy is so much fun, especially when you can just mix it into some serious topics, like just a little levity and lightheartedness, because I think a lot of times in life, I mean, that's how we deal with things. I mean, of course, if there's a tragedy, it may be harder to find comedy, but you still do have those lighter moments that kind of help you get through.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy at least some element of comedy as a part of a story.
Good.
But I have other thoughts too. We'll see.
I can't wait to see what you produce in the future. I really
Thank you.
am. I'm so excited to see anything that you make. You
Well,
know,
thank you. That's really nice. I appreciate that.
no, I'm very glad to be. Like I said, I'm very glad to be part of this, and just enjoy it. You
Thank
know,
you. Yeah, it's very enjoyable now. I didn't really put much thought to what was gonna happen after the film was done, and the festivals, I was just happy I got into festivals, and then but now it's just been such an exciting ride, and meeting so many amazing people and, other filmmakers. It's been an incredible journey.
yeah, it sure has. So you wouldn't do anything different then with this film?
Oh, I would. Oh, yes. With this film? Oh, where do I start? Yeah.
I'm open to hear.
Well, like I said, this was my first project and I just sort of threw it out there. Um, so I learned so much. I learned a lot. So I would want to take that knowledge and redo it. I think I would add more to it. I would add more into the characters' lives. I mean, it was a short film, so I only had limited time anyway. But I think also just the actual production of it, I think I would be more involved in some of the things that happened in pre-production. I mean, I was involved, but there were some things I didn't even, honestly, I wasn't really aware of. That now I think I would grab the reins a little more
Hmm.
and be have more opinions about it. And I think some of the things with some of the writing I might change a little bit, fine tune some of the thoughts or some of those things. And of course, I look back at my acting and I'm like, oh gosh, I wish I could do that again. But it was so much going on in that set. It was so stressful, and I, had a lot of balls in the air. So
Right, right.
I'll give myself a little break. But of course, when I watch myself, I'm like, oh,
No, what you got to do is you have to learn what we did, and you won awards. You did great.
thank
What would
you.
I have done if I could have done it better? You can ask yourself that 1,000 times. I say that
I
all the
do.
time. Right, right. You say it all. That's normal. I'm a Gemini, so Geminis always never are sure if
Right.
everything is good yet. But if everybody else is happy, we're satisfied. If that makes sense.
Yes. I'm trying to feel that way.
That's understandable. So yeah, what an amazing film. And you had an amazing time. You said you said you met a lot of other filmmakers there at the
At the
International
festival?
Film Festival.
Yes. Yes, everybody was so warm and, welcoming, and yeah, I met other filmmakers. So I really enjoy that part of it because, earlier you said something about competitors, but it's not like that. I feel like,
That's right.
we're all kind of in this together. We all understand each other's journeys. And I think, if anyone can truly appreciate your film, it's another filmmaker. So I think that camaraderie is so valuable. And it's really kind of what propels you to want to do more because, you get the energy from other people and it lifts you up.
Not everybody can win, but they're all winners because every film that we watched that day, I was just amazed with.
Exactly.
Um,
It's, winning, of course, is incredible and I'm so grateful for it. But I really felt like I won when I got selected. And I really felt like I won when I met everybody in the room. So the award itself was truly icing on the cake that,
oh,
yeah,
that's
well,
adorable.
it's true because, you can't focus on just winning an award because not everybody wins an award and you don't win an award every time. So everything else about the experience is truly the reward
Yeah, Cheryl's like,
and award.
oh, it's just
Well, it's true.
everybody, everybody's like crying, and they're just like, you're so humble. You are so humble. I said that to my wife. I said, boy, that Laurie, she's really humble. And I think all the filmmakers were pretty humble, but I really
I
think
think
you're
so.
really humble.
Oh,
Wonderful
well,
person. Wonderful
thank
person.
you. Thank you so much.
So, is there anything else that you would like to add? We have about 20 more minutes to
Okay.
this thing. Would you like to tell anybody anything about the industry, what you're finding out now that you didn't know before? Or would you like to just talk about, like, again, future projects that you may have coming up or maybe working with other filmmakers? The floor is yours.
Well, I am working on some other projects for other people. So that's exciting. And that has come from being at film festivals and meeting people and, just starting out by watching each other's work and having just a mutual respect, which is incredible. I mean, that's what makes the world go around, right? Connections, relationships, true, authentic,
Yep.
genuine relationships, true in filmmaking and true in life. But I think in general, like the journey as an actor, it's a lot about rejection, a lot about challenges. I'm not going to say it's a lot about competition because I feel the same way about that as I do, like what I said about the festivals. Like if they want you for the role, they don't want me. So we're not competing. They know what they want or they don't know what they want,
Right.
but it's going to be based on who you truly are and what you project. So I just think, entering all of these challenging situations with an open heart and an open mind and with gratitude is
Oh,
really the way to approach it because there's always going to be something to be upset about or disappointed about. But if you spend all your time focusing on that, you're just going to, I believe, experience more of those feelings. So if you can root for other people and accept and enjoy other people rooting for you, I think all of it is just a lot more fun. And I think in the end, you'll end up being more successful at whatever you're doing.
well, if your idea of touching people's hearts is what you did with your film, is what you really wanted to do, you did it.
Thank
You
you.
made people cry, you made people feel heartfelt and just an overwhelming of love.
Oh,
And you
that
did it.
means so
Right?
much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
did it. You
Well, I
absolutely,
made it with a lot of love, and I made it so heartfelt because it truly was literally out of my heart, talking into my phone while I'm walking and experiencing all of these emotions. And, it's just stuff I never experienced before. So I felt like other people had to have those feelings too.
yeah.
So I'm really glad that it resonated with other people.
Yes, we did. We all had them feelings, and we just couldn't wait to finally meet the person that made this magnificent film.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm so appreciative of my actors too, who really
Oh yeah,
took so much time to embody their characters and, to really see it through with true feeling. They did an amazing job.
like I said, everybody you lined up was absolutely almost perfect.
Thank
I couldn't
you.
find one flaw in the movie. Uh, Music, everything was done very, very well. Put in the right places, edited perfectly. Can hear everything.
That's Rob Riley and Larry
Right.
Rose.
Give them
Thank you to
shout out.
them,
Give
my
them shout out.
heroes.
The person behind the scenes is usually the one that makes everything happen. They don't understand that in the movie industry, but and people outside don't understand it. But people in the movie industry understand. Without a good editor or somebody that knows what they're doing, this film is not going to be as good as it is.
I am still like amazed at what he was able to do because, I did see an original edit. So I got to see the difference after he put his golden hands on it. And it's really remarkable what an editor can do.
What were your thoughts when you first saw it? I mean, you first saw it before it was unedited. What was your first thoughts? Your thoughts only, not everybody else.
I did have a lot of concerns over the audio issues and some of the coloring issues, but I still was just so proud and excited that my story came to life. So even though it didn't look the way I really wanted it to, I was still okay with it because, so much work went into it, so much heart and soul went into it, so much time went into it that I still was proud. But I didn't realize how much more proud I could be after what Rob did.
Well, we have another filmmaker here, Andrew, who did Soulmates, and Soulmates was a great horror movie type of thing. Then he did a great job on that too. I got to give him credit for that, and he also won an award.
Yes,
So I'm going to give him a
absolutely.
shout out for that. Yeah, everybody's commenting now. Makes magic. That's Rob. Yeah,
It's so true.
absolutely. So are we going to send all our projects to Rob now, right? Because he's so good.
Oh, there's I wouldn't even talk to anyone else. Right to Rob. That's going to be my little slogan.
God
Right to
bless
Rob.
you, man. God bless you. Like I said, if you have a great team behind you, there's nothing that can stop you. I mean, look
Yeah,
at sports or anything. If you have a great team behind you and you got the support of everybody around the community and that other thing, I mean, well, you're a winner. You're definitely gonna win.
I hope
You
so.
do. So what are you doing for the rest of the day? Or what do you do on your when you're not doing anything? What do you relax with? What do you do?
There's no relaxing today or tomorrow because we have adopted, in quotes, adopted a family from Venezuela.
Oh,
And we met them last June, and we've been supporting them. And fast forward to where when we met them and they got here with the clothes on their back, to now they have their papers. They work for my husband in the city, and tomorrow they're moving into their first apartment.
wow.
So tonight, they're on their way home now with the truck. We're going to pack it up with all of the furniture we've gotten donated, and we're going in tomorrow to bring them to their first apartment they've ever had here. So it's been very time consuming, but it's been an incredible story. This is going to be a film. This is one of the things that I'm like,
I can
how am
hear
I
it in
going to
the
make this into
making.
a film?
I can listen. This even goes even deeper into what I told you about how heartfelt you are. Oh
Oh,
my
thank
God,
you.
this is. Oh my God, this is like oh my touches my soul. I mean, this is beautiful.
Oh, thank
Adopting a
you.
family from Venezuela. This is absolutely beautiful. You
We
know,
we brought them, we met them, we started out just bringing them clothes, then we started bringing them groceries every week because they were living in a hotel and the food, they have kids and the food was kind of making people sick. And so we were delivering food, clothes to them. And then we started bringing them to live at my house last summer so they could do yard work around town because they weren't allowed to legally work. So I don't know if I could say this, but so they did work around the neighborhood so that they could save money and make money. And then eventually we were very fortunate because we got a lawyer who's doing work for us pro bono, and their paperwork got in, they got their social security numbers. So my husband was finally able to hire them because he owns a cleaning service in the city. So
Oh,
perfect for them.
beautiful.
And now they're able to afford an apartment. So I'm going to cry just thinking about it.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
the
going to be a
American,
lot of tears tomorrow. There's going to
as
be a
I
lot of
say, the
tears.
American dream coming to life right now
Yep.
with Laurie Tieman and her husband. And you guys are absolutely amazing
Oh, thank
people.
you.
I mean, you make everybody look like we don't care.
No, that's not true. In
No,
fact,
I'm just saying.
the amount of
You're
support
just
I've
an
gotten, the
amazing human being.
donations, people, once I put it out there, people were just so generous to
Oh,
them, and they're beautiful people, beautiful souls. But they've given me so much more than I could even explain. It's really a lesson in life. Their level of gratitude and joy, despite the circumstances, despite them leaving their families behind, despite their journey here and how they risked their lives and brought their little children through perilous situations so that they can have a life. Through all of that, they laugh like nobody I've ever seen in my life.
oh,
They're just so happy, and to me, that's just such a big lesson, and I'm so grateful to have them in my life. So it's been really an amazing experience. So, and I'm excited because now they're going to have an apartment and they can make me dinner, and I can go there and have a Venezuelan meal.
and you've touched so many lives just by talking about this one story. Again, you're probably going to make a movie out of it or a documentary, whatever,
Yes,
but
I really want to.
beautiful, such a beautiful Hallmark. Come on. I mean, this is a beautiful story.
I have to
Everybody
practice
ends
on
up
my
being
Spanish a
happy.
little bit more, but yes.
Well, again, whatever it is, but you know, you have the substance for it. You have all the proper things going for it. It's an amazing
Yeah,
story.
it's really an incredible story. I've been trying to wrap my head around it for the past almost a year of what that looks like. But it's formulating, as we're living it and as they are fulfilling their dreams and as they are came here literally with the clothes on their back. I mean, they ask for nothing, they want nothing. All they really ever wanted from us was a job. Um, and it started out, finally I got them to ask for what they wanted when they first got here, and it was just food. And yeah, it's just heartwarming and heartbreaking all at the same time. But they're really going to make it.
That's wonderful.
And it's really due to their hard work. I mean, we've helped them, but they work harder than anyone I've ever known, and they do it with joy. They're not complaining. He's working 2 jobs. She's working a job.
I'm
She
crying
babysits
already.
also. She takes care of her own family, and they do it all just with joy and gratitude, which I think is a lesson for all of us.
That's incredible. An incredible story. Again, Laurie, just amazing. Thank you for sharing that. You didn't have to share that, but I can't tell you how much I mean, people love you even more now than before. The ones that never saw the movie, how can they ever see the movie?
Well, right now it's just in festivals, and then where it goes from there, not exactly sure. I'm
Well,
working on that.
I hope it comes to streaming services soon because I know it'll be a big
Yes,
hit.
that I would love for that to be the journey for the film. So that'll be the next steps.
So when is it out of all the film festivals? 2025?
Yeah, it's submitted through next winter. So yes, we will see how it goes after that.
Well, here's a thought before you do that.
Yes.
I did a movie with Anna Bronstein, and it's called Silent Call. Can you hear me? And I thought last year was the hundreds of awards it won was going to be done. She put it out again this year, and it's already winning awards this year. So I'm like,
Oh,
right, in different film festivals. So
right. So maybe it'll have a longer life than that.
yeah,
Yes.
you might want to do like double if you want. I don't know.
Well, the film festival situation has just been incredible, and
They're all opening up everywhere.
yeah, and it's just for me the biggest rush, besides being selected and winning an award,
Right.
is just meeting so many amazing people. So yeah, maybe it will continue a little longer.
And yeah, just let me say this too. Even all the film festivals are opening up, that's great. But I hope that they take a little bit of what we have done or what have Frank Modica has done with this International Film Festival, that they can use it to theirs so we can spread the love to everybody.
That would be really nice. But I think at the same time, what makes this festival so special were the people who are running it. So, we can't copy that. That comes from the heart and, from just their whole attitude. So that's special and unique.
Well,
And
you
maybe
said
somebody could
earlier,
take a little piece of it.
well, you said it earlier. The people that you surround yourself with, the contacts and networking and other things that all make it special. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can duplicate that,
Right. Right. Exactly.
And it's
It
kind of
takes,
sad
it
in a
takes
way,
two to
but
tango. Like everybody has to be receptive and open-minded to having that sort of experience.
yeah, God put us all together for a reason. And I hope someday that, we can all, cherish in that,
Yes,
because
I hope so too.
the love we share, the simultaneous love we share, the idea of fellowship with each other and community support and helping our fellow actors and, and everybody in the filmmaking industry. We got your back, guys. We are here.
Mhm.
We all love you, and we want you to be part of what we're doing, whether we're opening up new doors or we're opening up old doors and creating new things, new scenarios. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, well, you're doing it.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
So, any last thoughts for today?
Well, I'm just really grateful that I had the opportunity to be here and talk to you and to meet everybody and just be a part of this incredible festival that is so layered with positivity and support. It was just such an amazing experience. So thank you to everybody.
I think we all wanted you to have the feeling of all the film people that left, that not only am I coming back with new films, I'm motivated for more films. I'm happy to be here, and I enjoyed it so much that I can't wait to tell other people and other filmmakers and other things, so we could all, revel in it together.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Awesome. So I want to thank you, Laurie Tieman, for being here today.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
I hope you enjoyed it. We touched on a little bit of your personality. We touched a little bit on what you decided to do in the film and how you made it and some of the different editing concepts and stuff you went through. And of course, we're going to give a shout out to Rob. And yeah, please give all your shout outs now. How can they get in touch with you if they have a film project they're interested in or working with you or having you involved in a film project? How can they get in touch with you? Give all your contact info out.
Okay. Do you want me just to say my email?
You can say your email. You can say your Facebook page. You can say whatever you want, my dear.
Well, my Facebook page, and my name is on there. That's what I am on Facebook. I'm Laurie Tieman Actor on Instagram. And my email is just laurietieman1@gmail.com. So it's not hard
I'm
to
saying
remember.
Tieman, so I'm saying it wrong. It's Tieman.
Yeah, it's okay.
Why didn't you correct me?
I don't know, because a lot of people
Listen,
say it.
you're so nice. You let people pronounce your name wrong.
No, it's okay. I know who I am. It's all right. It's spelled that way. So
Oh my God, I could make a whole movie about that. People pronounce people's names wrong, but they still answer to whatever they tell them they are.
but a lot of people say it, so I just say, oh.
I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. It's your name. You know how to pronounce it. You were told how to pronounce it, and people are still saying it wrong, but you're saying, yeah, okay, I'm here.
Well, I don't want to be a contrarian, so
No, again, you're such a sweetheart of a person.
thank you.
Hope to have you
Who are
back.
you?
Any new projects, please reach out to me. Anybody
Okay.
that want to reach out to me at any time, not only the winners, but anybody that wants to reach out to me for an interview or talk about a project, reach out to me. I'm here. This is why I do this. God's got me here for hopefully another few years so I can do stuff for helping people and helping filmmakers get their projects promoted and getting them out there and then maybe get more people to the projects or whatever.
Yes,
I'm here for that. So I'm glad to help.
Well, I'll be working on more projects, so I need a
Well,
minute, but I'm getting there.
thank you so much for being here. I hope everybody enjoyed today's show. Reach out to me again at that email there anytime, guys, and I'll be glad to either put you in touch with Laurie or anybody for the International Film Festival as well. If you have a movie or you have a film or anything involved, please reach out to me and I will give you the information. Again, have a great day, Laurie. Thanks for being here. Thanks,
Thank you
everybody, for
so much.
listening on the radio as well. It's been truly a fantastic show, and I enjoyed it very much. Hang
So
on,
did
Laurie. I'll
I.
say bye to you in a minute.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, we are